Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Today we've got a Nokia 2.2, the latest addition in the entry-level handset portfolio of the Nokia handsets. Now, considering it's only £20 more expensive than the Nokia One Plus, which I've also reviewed recently, I would actually put my money on the Nokia 2.2 rather than One Plus, but more on that later on. Now, as you can see, we've got the removable battery, we've got the micro USB cable, and then there is a charger in the back as well. Yes, so we've got a charger in here. Now, considering that this is more of an entry-level handset, you can't really expect fast charging, so a full battery charge takes around 2–2.5 hours using that charger. So let's have a look at the phone itself and the external battery, obviously, which is of 3000 milliampere hour size capacity. So in terms of the battery itself and the actual processor that runs the phone itself, it is quite easy to get 2 days of full work out of one charge. Now you can remove the back, obviously, if you want to put the battery in, and straight away you can see that not only we've got a SIM card and a memory card slot, but we also have a second SIM card slot. So we've got dual SIM capacity of the phone, and then we've got the memory card upgrade. Now, actually, the memory cards you can upgrade, you can put a memory card up to 400 gigabytes into the phone. So pretty decent considering the price of the phone. Now, this is plastic and it is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. As you can see, I've just touched the phone and it does leave marks, but then again, at that price point, you can't expect more. So we've got a power button, volume up, volume down, a headphone jack on the top, and then we've got the Google Assistant button on the left and a micro USB plus a microphone on the bottom. Now, let's set up the phone. There is one thing I wanted to show you. Now, the phone does lack a fingerprint sensor, but you can use a face unlock if you'd like to. You can set up a face unlock. So apart from the pattern, PIN, a password, you can also set a face unlock if you'd like to. And now let's delve deeper into the settings themselves. The phone does run on Android 9, however, it is a full-blown Android 9 Pie. It is not a Go edition. So again, like I did mention, extra £20 gives you a full-blown Android. Now, it's not always the best option to have a full-blown Android rather than Go edition, purely because of the specs of the phone. However, I have to admit that the MediaTek Helio A22 does actually do really decent job in terms of the handling the operating system, and so does the 1 GB of RAM. Now, because it's 16 gigs of internal memory, that also means that if you'd like to, you can expand the memory with the memory card, like I've mentioned, but you can also format the memory card into internal storage. So the phone does think that you do have an internal storage, the combined internal storage of your internal storage of the phone and your memory card. This is available on every single Nokia phone up to 16 gigs of storage, up to and including 16 gigs of storage. So that's that, and it's actually pretty decent. Now, these were some gestures we've got on the phone. Then in terms of security, like I did mention, you've got face unlock and you've got the PIN, password and pattern unlock as well. What else we've got in here? Storage, again, like I've mentioned, 16 gigs, plus if you'd like to, you can format a memory card. Now, in terms of sound, there is the Nokia, how they call it, a sound enhancement, best loudness, which tries to enhance the loudness via the one mono external speaker. It does a pretty decent job, but at the highest volume it does crackle a bit. Then we've got the night light, which removes the blue hue from the screen and makes your eyes feel less strained. We've got an ambient display as well, but it kind of works when you lift the phone only. It's not constantly on, but it is there. Again, considering the price point of the device, it's not that bad. One thing that the phone does lack is the NFC, unfortunately. You've got the accelerometer, you've got the proximity sensor, but unfortunately there is no NFC, which means that there is no Android Pay. support. So as usual, you got a pretty stock experience as it is with the Nokia phones. You've got the FM radio, we've got the files and so on, everything provided by Google, and then only Nokia support on the bottom. In terms of the camera itself, we've got a 13 megapixel shooter on the back with an f-stop of 2.2, and then we've got a 5 megapixel shooter at the very front. Now, as it is a Nokia handset, the camera features are actually pretty decent, and I have to admit, the picture quality, considering the price of the phone, isn't that bad. It's actually pretty decent, which did surprise me. But yes, as usual, you will see some camera samples at the very end of the video. What we've got in here, we can change the resolution. Bear in mind that if you want to shoot in 16:9, you have to drop down to 10 megapixels. And same applies to the front camera. If you want 16:9, I believe you have to drop it to 3. In terms of video recording, you've got Full HD, 1080p at 30 frames per second, and that's pretty much it. In terms of taking the pictures, you've got the HDR mode, which you can actually manually turn on if you'd like to, or turn it off, or you can leave it at auto. Right, let's move on. Let's have a look. So you can lock the exposure if you'd like to, and you can adjust it as well. You can lock the focus in the video itself, which is nice. Then we've got the time lapse, and we've got a panorama and Google Lens, which allows us to point the camera at any object we'd like to, and then it tells us more about that. In terms of the settings, the manual mode, not that much to be honest, that you can adjust. But like I did mention, actually the picture quality is pretty decent. Let's have a look what's going on in here. Okay, so artistic mode. Alright, so you can adjust saturation and so on. Overall, pretty decent experience. The one thing that's left is obviously the speaker. So let's have a listen. Yep, so like I've mentioned, not too loud, not too quiet. It just does its job pretty well, considering it's placed on the back. So yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye!